What I found is that men will fight with a woman like she's a man if she's fighting like a man.
I was raised in a very country fashion, and I have in fact heard that saying before, but it was when I was trying to go fisticuffs with a grown man. I won, by the way. But I just have so many questions about what went on behind closed doors. Do you mean that by they stood up for themselves? Or like I'm not really understanding this here. Season 19, final episode, final part of the recaps. We made it. At this point in the episode, they were talking about an absolutely cursed trip, which the amount of times that they had to take professionals that were there to deal with the problems in their relationships on literal vacation should have been just the biggest red flag. Like, let's call it a day right now. But you know what? Hey, good for you for trying. So they had gone all on this thing, and they stood how they felt close to Kody or where they felt they were to Kody, and it was pretty bad. Then everyone moved where they were supposed to, and Christine was talking about how in that time she saw Robyn standing up to Kody, and that she didn't know that she could do that. And then when she asked Robyn, like, how do you guys keep from these fights going on for so long, she was told,
He stays there and he listens to me, and I don't let him leave until we're done with the conversation. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I would never do that.
I would argue that forcing you to talk when you don't want to and pressuring you until you do is actually something a man might be capable of. Not to mention communication styles are wildly different among people. Like, for instance, you always hear, well, don't go to bed angry, which for some people that really works. For me personally, this is a sharp situation. You need to let me go to bed or take a minute and have a couple hours, and then we can talk and be nice. But let's be real, gendering this in this context is very strange because, like I mentioned, the only time I've ever heard that saying used is when there's literal, like, physical situations going on. So what?
What I found is that men will fight with a woman like she's a man if she's fighting like a man. He does that, and I'm always like, whoa, 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 you put your sword away. I'm your wife, and this isn't a place to pull your sword out. Emotional sword. And then, I'm going to be a woman. I'm going to talk as a woman. I'm not going to talk like a man.
Yeah, around your wife is no place to pull your sword out. Keep it holstered or sheathed or whatever. Anyway, enough of that internalized misogyny. Then let's move on to the place where I literally, yelled at the TV. I couldn't believe he said this with everything that's going on. Bro. And they're getting another season, by the way. No, for real, they're getting another season. They're coming back for season 20.
The bigger question, would you do it all over again? Marrying these women and living a plural life. Would you do it all again?
No.
He goes on to say answering that question is a double-edged sword because he would have to wait about 10 years to see if he would go back and do this now. Well, I can give you several reasons that exist now that you should say that you would go back and do it exactly the same. And as someone who's no contact voluntarily from one parent and then the other parent, he took the deadbeat thing so far. He actually died. Oh my God, drama, always doing the most that one. Let me tell you, I would never reinstitute contact if I knew that my dad would have just gone back and not had me anyway, or that was a hard question to answer. Everyone else, when asked if they would go back and do it again, they said yes, but would they do it in the future? No, they're monogamous now. The only one who said she would do it again was Robyn. Said that she would need a burning bush and all this stuff, which is interesting. You know what a burning bush is? But not a sacred cow. We should probably make sure to go every Sunday, just saying. Holdout is Janelle. She said that she would consider polygamy again, depending on the family and what's going on, but that she absolutely plans to date again because she is what she calls an earth mama and loves everything that is earthy, and that includes the snuggles, the drinks, the life. She just wants to live. There were also a lot of jokes about farmersonly.com, but she's pretty clear about that, and I am with you. She's like, I've never been on a dating app and I never plan to be on one. Same. I was not single when those got really popular, and then once I was, that's scary. One of the real MVPs in the episode, who wasn't in the episode, was Jen, though, as always, just being really supportive of Meri, and supportive friends can make all the difference. She wants to buy her some stuff.
He's going to buy me boxes of, I'm not going to say this.
Of fun toys?
See, that's what I
just, protection.
Okay.
Because she's like, I will buy you. I'm like, I don't need a pot for me. Nothing's happening.
See, I thought the same thing that Suki thought, because discreet packaging comes to your door. I know it's a small town, nobody's going to worry about it. Because the other one seems kind of counterintuitive, but the other box, now that's useful.
So interesting. Everybody has this idea just because I didn't want to have assembly line kisses with Kody or whatever, that I was ace. I promise you I'm not. I promise you. And the hormones are hell when you're single. But, you know, it's like you just deal with it or whatever. But yeah, no, I suspect that someday down the road, if there's somebody else, then that will be part of it.
Okay, I love hearing that you're far from that.
No,
Because I think a lot of people are curious.
No, and I really want to make sure, because it's so wild to me that everybody has assumed.
Yeah, me too, because I watch
So
the show.
just trust that I am not. I'm a very sexual, I'm a very earth mama.
Ooh.
I think that's so good. And see, these are the things that people actually want to hear, because then Kody comes in acting all poetic or whatever. But I'm just going to play the Garth Brooks clip so you don't have to see him say it again. But they talk about coming back for a tell-all where they're all sitting on the same couches and talking to each other and maybe blah, 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 which is probably a teaser for season 20 that is definitely happening. And I'm wondering if that's going to be the thing at the end. Everyone's like, the way they ended this one. Because at the end, even Kody comes out at the very end. They've cut everything. He's like, cut the cameras, please. They already did. Like, you're not in control. Calm down. Back to that clip I showed you in the very first one I told you we Tarantino'd.
Couldn't miss the pain, but I'd have had to miss the pain.
I do some history videos around this because you guys have been asking for those a lot again lately. But that calls it good for this season. We have cleared this house and exorcised the demons. I will see you at the next one, and I hope you guys have a great day.